Mr. George Michael, what a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
And thank you very much.
We've twittered each other.
We have, yeah.
Tweeted each other.
Yeah.
For many months, which has been, so I'm glad to finally meet you.
And now it's great to see you face to face. I've got to say, first of all, probably the most important question: how are you? You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a very difficult
People
few
keep
months.
saying that. People keep
really
saying
well.
that. I'm going to start believing it soon. I feel great. I'm working every day in the studio, and writing for me when it's going well that's about the best feeling next to standing in front of the audience that finally receives that music, and sharing it with them. Writing when things are going well is the best feeling I know,
And I think something like this is, obviously it's life affirming, isn't it? You were in such a bad place, and it's kind of taken you. Well, it's not that long to recover, is it?
Well, I was
something like that.
actually, yeah, I was told to take it easy this year. But I found with the kind of post-op stress that you go through, it's a bit like, apparently it's very similar to post-traumatic stress disorder. And I was advised to lay off work, and I promised everybody I would, but I just don't know what to do if I'm not working.
Is it the work that's got you through?
Yeah, the work has definitely got me through this year, definitely. And I must admit, I've made a pretty strong rod for my back. No pun intended, because I do actually have a rod in my back. I made a rod for my own back by squashing everything together. But I don't know any other way to. I don't know any other way to be, really. If I'm not creating something, I get very restless very quickly.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing the album, and then doing the tour straight after, and then an Australian tour after the British tour, or the European tour, and it's going to be a packed out year, really. I've made myself a promise that I will take it easy next year, and start to enjoy some time with my lovely new man. Well, he's not new; it's 9 months now, which is about 5 years in the gay community, isn't it? Really, I think it's So, but we haven't really had a chance to really relax together for very long, for a good while now, because I've been working so hard.
Has what you've been through brought you closer together as a couple?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'd only been really seeing each other at the time for about a month, and I can only imagine what it feels like to fall in love with someone and then have them nearly die on you. I think it was a very horrible time for him, and he's been absolute rock for me this year. Fantastic.
I think it probably strengthens you as a person as well, that kind of experience, for both of you, I think.
For both of us, I think, yes, I think it's a very unfortunate way to start your relationship, but it's, I think it has, I don't know, it brought us very close in a much more immediate and emergence. So it was in that sense of emergency and relief, I think, brought us closer.
It's very difficult to comprehend how that experience was for you, because obviously I've not experienced that, and a lot of people haven't experienced that. How does it change you as a person to go through that?
I don't think it changes you as a person. I think it hopefully will. I mean, I've been doing this all morning, but I've got a tracheostomy scar there, and it really bothered me for a while. And I was thinking, well, maybe I should get something done about it. I know you can have scar treatment. But then I thought, a couple of weeks ago, I was looking in the mirror, and then I thought, you know what? It does actually remind me every time I look at it that I'm lucky to be alive.
Sure.
So I've decided to keep it.
Like a little motif.
Like
almost.
a little motif, yeah. Anyway, it's quite butch, isn't it?
Yeah,
a scar
absolutely.
here, a scar there, I've got a few.
What does the other half think of that?
What? The fact that...
The scar.
I think he quite likes it, actually, yeah.
And you've obviously got a very positive thing to come out of this, many positive things to come out of this experience, looking on the bright side, of course.
Yeah.
White Light, the single, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think it's the most kind of powerful thing in terms of up-tempo music I've written for quite a while.
It gave me goosebumps the first time I heard it. It
Really?
still does, actually, on repeated list. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's what I want to hear. That's what we like to hear. There are so many people in our community who've come through terrible times, whether it be through their outing, through HIV diagnosis, or anything. There are so many things that gay people have to kind of celebrate these days. I think it should I think it resonates with a lot of us. You know?
Yeah, it's ultimately joyous, isn't it?
Yes, ultimately it's a celebration of survival. Yeah.
And Kate Moss in the video, which I saw for the first time this morning, I think it got put online this morning, wasn't it, today?
Yeah, today.
She saves you, and the coin tossing,
Yeah.
very symbolic.
Yeah, it's all very symbolic. All metaphors everywhere. You know, the black ravens and the white doves, and the black and white zebra representing, you know, the darkness of death and the brightness of life, really. And I think there are also references in there to some of the amazing singers that we've lost in the past couple of years. And you can't help, as a singer, especially from the era Michael and Whitney came from, you can't help feeling like you dodged a bullet that they didn't manage to dodge, you know. I was never a heroin addict, obviously, but I did dodge a bullet, no question.
Sure.
And in a way that kind of reinforces the feeling of privilege I have at being able to, and I do think my real privilege is that I still believe in what I do, and I think I'm still capable of making people happy with my music. And after 30 years, that's just amazing. Just amazing.
I think that goes without saying. I think you just got to take a look at Twitter. The response, when we've been playing your single, the response has been phenomenal.
Really?
You affect so many people. It's great.
Well, you never know with Twitter. They're so loving. It's kind of just a wash of love, really, isn't it? With the occasional person going, I liked him better when he was straight. You know, but other than, you know, I mean, it's always, I do read my Twitter stuff, and I am very heartened by it, put it that way.
Can we talk about revolving urinals, which I think is probably...
Was my idea.
It's a fantastic idea as well.
Idea.
I will never forget seeing that for the first time, because I thought you were so brave during that whole time, I think, as well. But to actually do it in such a tongue-in-cheek way, and almost laughing in the face of adversity.
Can I tell you how it happened?
Yeah,
it literally was, I'd already made Fast Love and Spinning the Wheel with two video directors, genius couple that were a couple and then were just a business couple, a working couple, called Anthea and Vaughan. And I'd already made those two, I think, spectacular videos, Fast Love and Spinning the Wheel. And Vaughan came to, they stopped working together, but Vaughan came to LA because he wanted to make something for Outside. And Vaughan sat with me looking very nervous, and I couldn't work out why. And then after about half an hour, he said, "Can I be really honest with you?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can." And he said, "Can we do it in a toilet?" So I sat and looked at him.
It's got to be a glitzy one, though, isn't it? It can't
No,
be.
but I that's exactly right. I sat and looked at him, and it took me about 10 seconds to say, "Yes, but it's got to be a disco toilet." Right?
That's fantastic.
And that's basically as simple as it was.
Yeah.
And and then I had that, and then I immediately had the idea of the revolving urinals and everything, which is my I think it's probably my favourite 3 seconds of any video I've ever made.
Did you ever think that was a bad thing to do, though? Did you ever consider that to be at the back of your mind, that would go horribly wrong? Because I think you nailed it completely.
No, I didn't think it would go wrong. I thought if it's funny enough and if the record is good enough, then you can get away with murder.
People got it as well. I don't think it was just the gay community that got it. It was the straight people that thought it
yeah,
was funny
and the other thing was, as a man who'd stayed in the closet to keep his poor mother from worrying about HIV every day, who was desperate to come out. I showed my desperation to come out just in how I was almost complicit in the whole setup between the press and the police. Because believe me, it was a setup. I think I immediately thought, well, what can I do with this? As someone who had not been able, even though I'd spent a lot of time raising money for HIV over the past 15 years by that point, I suppose, I just felt, okay, what can I do in one fell swoop that I know will be good for some of the gay community? I immediately thought, well, when I started cruising, which is when I was very young, I would have been so unbelievably thrilled if someone that I liked musically had made that video, because it would have lightened the burden of shame by, I don't know, 90%. I would have been thrilled. I would probably, Actually, it's probably a good thing it didn't happen. I probably would have done it the whole time. But the thing is, I thought this is really going to help some kids overcome some of their shame. You know, if it's good enough for George Michael.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you feel about it now, looking back? Because obviously it was a while ago, and how do you think you've changed? Are you ever... Because you strike me as the sort of person that doesn't feel uncomfortable talking about it, which I think is great, because a lot of people probably would. Or
No, yeah, a lot of
would,
people, they don't
feel
talk
quite
about
guilty,
it, or they lie,
feel uncomfortable.
you know, or they lie and hide it from people. What's the point? You know, in terms of discretion, that horse bolted that afternoon, didn't it?
And the fact that it's a tourist attraction now, that toilet as well.
Yeah, they have to constantly. That's their payback for actually having entrapped me, is that they have to have that toilet cleaned much more regularly, because the writing is, you know, just builds up on it It's like a little pilgrimage people make to that toilet. At least I've had them make a pilgrimage to a nice clean toilet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Beverly Hills, remember that, Beverly Hills.
Do you wish you'd come out sooner? In hindsight?
Well, you know what? You know, the truth is, I would have stayed probably. I'm sure once there was a public understanding, which I still don't think there is, of how treatable HIV is now. I think maybe then, maybe a little later, I would have come out, because I would have been able to explain to my mum, you don't have to worry about this. Is not a death sentence anymore. You don't have to worry about this happening every day, you know. But I would have done it. I'd do it again, because I was protecting her, and the stigma and the fear and the death around HIV at the time was so real. I thought, if I'm this neurotic about it, I mean, because I really was neurotic, I was more careful than careful, you know what I mean? And I thought, if I'm this neurotic about it, then my mother, I knew her so well, I knew it would be a constant weight on her. And it was stupid of me, I suppose, and she would have hated the fact that I did anything but live my life to protect her. But I would do it again. And I, you know, for God's sake, when I made the Older album and dedicated it to my late partner, you know, around the stage of the promotion, at one point I had a proper handlebar moustache. I was trying in every way. I chopped the hair. Got the moustache. I was trying in every way to say, look, I'm not trying to hide something here. I just don't want to talk to the press. You know,
that was a great look. I'm a big fan of the tash, especially the handlebar tash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, I thought I could get away with it now the Edge had one.
Okay, another confession. I saw you, I think it was 1984, when you played with Wham at the Cornwall Coliseum. And I do remember vividly going through adolescence at the time of being quite kind of impressed by the fact that you were arriving on stage with Andrew in your badminton get-up, and you were pushing shuttlecocks down your pants and beating them out into the crowd. Well, quite literally beating them out into the crowd.
You've got to give it.
I remember that.
You have to hand it to us, really, don't you? You have to hand it to us. We were full of self-ridicule, and that's what I think actually. It's amazing, but people look back on that and they think you actually took that seriously. No, we wanted to have as much of a laugh as possible.
And
on
that
stage.
really showed. Wham was out and out pop, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
in a great way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was fun.
And things popped out of Wham concerts.
Well, yeah,
shuttlecocks. And
I didn't see anything else popping out that night.
No,
that's never going to happen. Mind. It's
that's never going to happen. Gigs.
So you had an effect on me at a very early age. The new album.
2 or 3 of the tracks, the lyrical content is really based. Aimed at our community, and yes, and there'll be absolutely loads of great remixes and stuff. It's a very dance-orientated album, you know.
That's great to hear.
No, it definitely is going to be. I think it's going to be a floor filler. I hope.
Brilliant. The Symphonica tour as well. Obviously, it's back. Are you going to be touring the States as well? Because a lot of people have been asking if you're going to be touring the States.
I'm hopefully going to be touring the States early next year. Hopefully. I've got to get these shows done and then an Australian tour done. And I think, you know, God willing, I shall be in America at some point early next year to start the whole process of, you know, it all takes so long to set up, you know.
And I'm amazed you're doing it so soon.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was told I was supposed to take it easy, but I just couldn't. I just you know, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and the only way to to distract myself. So if there's anything that distracts me from everything, it's music. I just become completely tunnel visioned. It's the safest place in the world for me, the recording studio.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of takes your mind off stuff, I guess, as well.
Well, yeah, you have to focus absolutely on every tiny detail. So there's no room for you to, sit there worrying about your life. It's not like a lot of 9-to-5 jobs where there's plenty of time for anxiety.
Yeah.
There's really not. In a studio, you're totally concentrated the whole time.
I'm very careful about asking about Wham. We touched on Wham, but it's very important because obviously it's 30 years. It's an anniversary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since you started.
It's pretty amazing that 30 years later, anyone gives a shit, really, isn't it?
That's great. People do. People, yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Fond memories.
I said this in a recent press release, but it's everything that's happened is way, way, way beyond anything that I expected. All I wanted as a child was to be on top of the pops. That's all I thought of. That was, to me, that was the peak of fame. I didn't think of international fame. I didn't think of 30 years. I just wanted to get on top of the pops.
But the reunion's not happening.
Absolutely not.
It's not happening because there has been
no reunion, nada reunion.
You're probably sick to death of.
Well, it just comes up every year, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
comes up every year, and sorry people, but it's not happening.
So finally, what's next? Because you've achieved so much. What do you want to achieve in the next few years?
I don't want to say, but I've definitely got plans.
Because you don't want to jinx.
Big plans.
Jinx things.
Yeah, I don't want to promise things that don't happen, and I don't want to jinx things. But I definitely have big plans. Definitely.
It's probably good to keep it a mystery as well.
Yeah, I
It
think
keeps
so.
people on their toes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A couple of things that people aren't going to be expecting, I think.
It's fantastic to see you looking so well.
Thank you.
And so great to
you.
meet you finally. And thank you very much for
And
taking the
you,
time
Phil.
to chat to us.
And your online picture doesn't do you justice.
Thank you very much.
You should change your online picture.
I'll have words. I'll
Actually-
become a diva, I think, back in the office.
Isn't it a bit
More of a
like
diva.
a George Michael picture and your whole face isn't showing? One of those.
The one that's on there currently, actually, I'm definitely going to have words with because it's horrendous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they change it without asking
They changed
you?
it without asking.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you should have words for me on,
Yeah.
on my behalf.
No, I think definitely you need to find a photographer that's going to do Phil justice.
You're so sweet. Thank you very much, George. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.